Welcome to All in Uncensored, episode 19.
Is it 19 already?
It's 19. 18 was just me because you had COVID.
No, I was down for the count. It was terrible.
Did you just swallow your gum?
I swallowed my gum. I'm going next level today.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Tell us about your little COVID experience.
Brutal. So my wife and I went down, helped my parents build a greenhouse, came home. My wife got sick, popped positive for COVID a day later. Same thing with me, and then both my parents got it. We were down for about a week, and it was terrible. Lost taste, lost smell. I mean, you could have fed me dog food, and I wouldn't have known the difference.
It kicked your ass.
It kicked my ass.
I haven't seen you like that maybe ever.
No, I pride myself on not getting sick because I take my vitamins every day and drink a lot of water for the most part. And, man, this is the first known time that I've had COVID.
So you were out sick.
Yes.
I was out with a bum knee.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
your knee is...
It's better today, but, you know, been to the doctor twice and going to have to get it fixed this time.
We could do a show on fully formed adult males aging and with all of our health issues here, but I don't think that's what we're going to talk about today, is it?
No, we're going to talk about positivity. We're going to talk about what culture means to us.
Yes. So you have been reading a book about culture, and we were discussing this earlier. Really fascinating stuff.
It really is. You know, years ago I read a book, and it was the founder of Zappos. And that's his big thing also, is culture. And his interview process actually is, I can't remember, it's been years since I read it, but it's a 7 or 8 step process where he doesn't care if you are the absolute perfect person for that position. If you don't fit the culture of his company, you're out.
I like that.
Yeah. I think that's where you and I have talked a lot about. That's where we're heading in the building of our company here.
And speaking to culture, we talked a little bit about how transparency plays into that, and what you and I, how we're going to be building. We're going to be pretty selective, but we also want the people coming on board to be selective with us too. If we're not going to be the right fit for them, we don't want them to pretend like we're going to be the right fit for them. You know, let's just be 100% transparent on the front end so both parties can make super informed decisions, and the right people will align with us ultimately.
Well, I just think that's how you build the best culture. Mm-hmm. You know, they're not only transparent with us in, you know, their background and their history and what they can do to help us grow, but who are they? From a transparency, from a personal standpoint, and they need to know transparently who we are and what we expect.
Yes.
And if in either direction the feelings aren't right that they're the best fit for our team, we move on. We find somebody different.
That's right. Yeah. And I think all too often in our industry, things get emotional, not in a bad way, but people tend to take things personally when it's just really business. And if you can learn how to have enough emotional intelligence to separate the business decision-making from the emotional decision-making. Look, we all hope when we go into business that we make friends with the people that we work with. And I think you and I have done a very good job of that, from our past crew to our current crew. Yeah. And, you know, and sometimes we have to make tough decisions that are right for us and our families. And it may not be a decision that third parties really like, but that's the decision that needs to be made. And again, that comes down to transparency. And I think you and I are both on the same page in that we want to build a culture where, and we've talked about this in past episodes, where we're building something, and if people feel like they move and grow beyond what we have to offer them, we're going to celebrate them, and we're going to help them. We'll help them transition away from us, and no ill feelings towards them at all.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that was talked about in the book that I'm reading now, and the book is called Culture Wins. I just had to look it up, but it's Culture Wins. He talks about celebrating wins. Every single win in our business, a win is a closed loan. How do we celebrate that as a company? We need to celebrate those wins as a company for each individual loan officer and us.
Agreed.
One of the things that he talked about is a company that he's kind of a consultant. One of the companies that he works for, their colors are orange and something. But if somebody has a big win, they buy a lightsaber, an orange lightsaber, and they have it inscribed, their name scribed on it. And so everybody in the office has lightsabers, and then they have lightsaber battles.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's developing that. And you and I have done this with Anthony. So right now it's us three, and we're going to be onboarding Bryon Nicholson here. And he's actually in the process of that. But we had a couple of back-to-back really great meetings. And why are we getting some fuzzy feedback?
Sounds like rain.
Yeah, is it raining in here? That's weird.
I don't think it's raining in here.
Yeah,
but it sounds like rain.
I'm not wetting my pants, folks. I promise. No, but we had some really great back-to-back weekly meetings with Anthony.
Yeah.
Where we started the meeting. Let's talk about the wins each one of us got, and we celebrated each other's wins, and then let's talk about the challenges that we had to overcome, and then how do we learn from those and how do we get better. So, I think this was a really good first step for you and I in building that culture and that transparency through our weekly check-ins with our team. And we've started with Anthony, and we're going to continue that.
We've talked about equating wins as being thankful for something. And one thing that I threw out there was every day, write down 3 things that you're thankful for. And then on our weekly meetings real quick, pick out 3 or 4 of those things that you were thankful for throughout the week. And it doesn't have to be business related. It can be anything in life. Your kids, you had a great breakfast, but it can be business also. And just pick out 3 or 4 things that you were thankful for as wins and share them with the team, and we'll celebrate those.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And we're building on that, which is huge. And I love seeing the growth that we're experiencing in that regard and just building on that culture. Because that's really what culture is. And culture is not any one person. It's a group of people coming together and having a common goal and an ideal that they're trying to strive for. And then we lift each other up while we pursue that.
Well, like one of the things that I told you about the Tetris, Anthony just moved. And his move is a big win for him. He moved a few months ago, and it was not the best thing for him and his kids. So he's moving back to where he used to be, and he was bragging about how he was so good at Tetris and packing the van that for his big win in moving, we're going to buy him a Game Boy in the game Tetris and say, congratulations on your move back. It's time to get to work. I'm glad you're awesome at Tetris.
Yeah, exactly. And
celebrate it.
100%. And we just got to keep building on that. And whatever any of you are doing out there, if you're building a team or you're running a business, the culture is one of the biggest things that it's like foundational stuff. Because I don't think you can truly, I think people can have some measure of success in whatever endeavor they're pursuing, but without a solid foundation of culture, I don't think it's going to be possible to scale big mountains.
You know, one of the most fun things I've had over the last couple months is reading. It's something that I've dabbled in here and there over my life, but really diving in and having a goal of 50 books this year, and I'm ahead of pace.
Yeah, what are you, like 30 already?
No.
The rate you're going.
I am I'm through 11, I believe, and it's been 9 weeks.
Good for you.
So I'm through 11. I'm a little bit ahead of pace, which is good because some of the books that I want to read are a little bit longer, and I mean, it'll ebb and flow. I mean, I did read another one that was a quick hour-and-a-half read, so that just took a couple quick days.
Mine's definitely ebbing. With COVID brain and fog, and I started that 10x is better than 2x book, and this past week and a half with COVID, there's just nothing there. Like, I just haven't had the will or the motivation to want to read, and I've had trouble focusing and concentrating on that. Luckily, I feel like I've come out of that quite a bit over the weekend here. So I did pick up my book on Sunday and started reading it again. It felt good. The
cool thing about reading, though, is what I've really grown to realize over the last 8-9 weeks is the learning that I'm getting from it and the ideas, and it's pushing me to think differently in a lot of aspects of my life, not
100%.
just business, but I'm enjoying it more and more and more. I find myself, I do a little bit of actual reading in a book. I also have a Kindle, and then I do a lot of audiobooks. And I find myself just wanting to jump in the car and go drive and
Just to listen to your book.
Yeah, because I know the next chapter is going to be great, so I just want to go listen. And that's been a lot of fun. So you grab a couple books, get some audiobooks. Audible is awesome. Amazon. Start reading, listening.
Just jump into it. Even if it's just
grow yourself.
Yeah. I mean, personally, Ryan and I are big proponents of personal growth and development books. I mean, we're really hardcore into those right now. But even if you just pick up a good novel to read, start somewhere, get into the practice of reading. And then if you decide that you want to jump into the personal growth stuff, more power to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, even I used to be in a habit of reading every night before bed instead of being on my phone, and I would sleep a lot better. So I'm going to get back into that. But I'm really into the Jack Reacher novels by Lee Child. Like that's
cool.
That's something I share with my dad and my sister.
Yeah.
So we'll like read books and then we'll trade.
It's raining.
It's raining again. That's so weird. What is going on with the feedback?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. This is uncensored.
Dano, fix this.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was weird.
That is weird. Anyway.
Yeah. So
Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher. Yeah, which is now a show on Amazon, but the books are astounding.
I knew that sounded familiar.
Yeah. If you ever feel like reading fiction novels, and you like that kind of content, I highly recommend Lee Child's Jack Reacher series.
It's interesting. I do like the self-help type of books, and the book I'm really into right now is this culture thing. But I've enjoyed everything, fiction, nonfiction. I really like learning about people. So documentaries.
Oh, that's fun.
That's really fun. I just listened to Fubu guy, John, what's his name? The creator of Fubu. He's on Shark Tank.
Sean. Dang it.
I'll look it up.
I'm going to look up a book here for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to recommend something to you. So there's if you want to get like.
Damon John.
Yeah, Damon John.
Damon John.
Not Fubu. Sean John. You were thinking of Sean John.
I wanted to say Sean John so bad. I knew it wasn't Sean John though. Yeah, Damon John.
So Carlos Castaneda wrote a series of books. So The Teachings of Don Juan, a Yaqui Way of Knowledge.
Don Juan?
Yeah, so this sociologist travels down to Mexico seeking a Yaqui Indian by the name of Don Juan. And Don Juan teaches him, takes him on the spiritual journey, so to speak. He's like a medicine man. It's absolutely fascinating. Now, Mescalito is a spirit guide. Mescalito is peyote. So before he's able to get introduced to Mescalito, he has to pass a series of tests to be worthy enough to receive Mescalito into his life. But you should check that book out. It's wild.
You have to pass tests to receive Mescalito?
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Pass some tests so you can get high.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No, it's not just about getting high. It's about a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
But you should definitely check it out.
Done.
It'll open up your mind to other things.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Anything else for the good of the order for our audience today? I do want to say, before we get to closing out our show, so Ryan and I are super excited. We had a phone call with Alan Kay today, our social media guru guide and / lead generation expert / Gen Z spirit animal.
What he talked about, because that was.
So he polled a bunch of his Gen Z friends to figure out what kind of content is relevant to them. And what we're learning is that, in particular, Gen Z and millennials, a lot of the knowledge they seek online is done in video content because that's how they've interacted with the internet since they were young, very young. And so they look for people that are an authority, a brand authority. And they look at that by subscribership and reviews and stuff like that. So they do a lot of their own homework before they ever even engage anybody to buy a house. So it's really fascinating, all of the questions that he came up with that Gen Z people have on home ownership. And it's just given us this new inspiration for this content that we're going to be creating around that. And I, for one, am super excited to get this content out, because now we are kind of understanding who our audience is, their thought process, who our audience is. And unlike, we see a lot of boomers, we see this rift between boomers and millennials and Gen Z. Okay, boomer, okay, millennials, you entitled little brats, and we feel like us as Gen Xers, are
bridging the
gap between the two generations. So we joke about this all the time, but in reality, we really are.
Yeah.
So we do have, we grew up in a time where tech was just really coming online with computers and the internet in the 90s. And so we got to like grow up in this. And now these people are, grew up young already having it. So I kind of feel like we're kind of bridging the gap between the two generations. And to get the insight that these millennials and Gen Z generation people have,
it was really cool to hear.
It's going to be cool.
We talked about this last week. For Alan to think about this at a dinner party and actually poll all of his friends that are all Gen Zers was really cool. So when he came back to us, some of the insights that they had was like they don't even know where to start.
Right.
They don't know what they qualify for. How much should they spend of their monthly gross income before they feel like they're married to their house and going to eat top ramen? I tell clients that all the time. Like, we can qualify for people up to 50% of your gross income. Should you spend that on your mortgage payment? Absolutely not. Personally, I think you should keep it in between like 28 and 32%, and that will allow you to continue to live your life and not have to sacrifice and eat top ramen and feel like you can't do anything. The other thing about that is a lot of younger people coming up, their careers are growing. So, if you do want to push the boundaries a little bit, I'm not saying go up to 50%, but if you want to push the boundaries a little bit, you're most likely going to be making the least amount of income right now that you'll ever be making. So as your income goes up, everything's going to be a little bit more affordable. But again, talk about those things with your lender.
Yeah, we're going to be building a whole series around that. So we're excited to get this content out to everybody.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is kind of begin with the end in mind. Know that you're going to have maintenance issues come up as a homeowner. So, we're going to be bringing on probably a handyman, a maintenance company to kind of address some of those common issues that come up. You're going to find out a lot of this too in your home inspection report. So why you should get a home inspection. So we'll bring a home inspector in here to kind of give people the nitty gritty. And so that home inspector is going to almost kind of be like your blueprint and your guide to maintenance issues upcoming so that you can plan for those. And then we'll also teach you how to budget. We're talking about, we have a budgeting tool that we're going to be releasing here in our budgeting series in this upcoming content we're going to create. But Ryan and I are excited because we have some amazing content that we feel is going to be really educational towards our target audience here, which are homeowners or people wanting to become homeowners. And I can't be more excited about that. And thank you, Alan, for really being willing to go the extra mile.
Dive in and help us on
that.
I'm so excited about our relationship with him long term.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a critical component to building out the vision that we have. So
he gave us some really good feedback on our podcast show itself that we say and the
like at least like we didn't like
hello.
Yeah, like say like what is it? Love is Blind on Netflix.
Oh my gosh!
All those people like
first time. That's
all those like people
show.
Like say like all the like time.
Why do people watch that trash?
Ask my wife and I.
That's my wife and I. I watched it because my wife was watching it. I watched it for the first time. It's horrible.
We got sucked into it, man. It's like the drama that unfolds throughout.
They get engaged and then they go to the altar and like one person says yes, like. Yes, I'll marry you after not knowing you ever.
It's a fascinating study in human behavior. It's
okay if you look at it from that standpoint. I actually agree with that.
Yeah,
like the whole love is blind thing. Not meeting somebody and seeing their physical appearance, and then getting to know them from a level of just getting to know them.
that's, in a way, that's kind of how our business operates. So we don't necessarily meet. Most of the clients we meet now are just virtually online, and so we're hardly ever meet face to face.
You're killing me. Now I have to go watch Love is Blind.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch it because this pertains to this is a business building exercise.
This is not a business.
You have to watch Love is Blind. Loans are blind, folks.
Loans are blind. Your loan officer is blind.
Yeah. You come and talk to us through a wall or a virtual wall.
Oh, man. So good.
We're off the rails now, dude.
Well, it was funny, though.
Yeah.
Just ask us. We'll tell you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I am off to Las Vegas for the Pac-12 basketball tournament, so I'm glad this is Monday before. We're recording on a Monday here, and our show's dropping Friday, obviously. And
it's raining again.
And it's raining static in our headsets again, Dan. Anyway.
I'm excited for your Vegas trip. I think that's going to be really fun. Going to watch these tournaments live will be really cool.
Yep, live and in person. I'm going to bring a journal with me, actually. I talked to my coach about this morning. I'm going to bring a journal and kind of use some time for some journaling about our business and our growth and all that stuff. And then we've got a UWM live event coming up in May that we're both excited about. It's just going to be another 10x growth type opportunity for us, and a lot coming down the pipe, folks. And we can't wait to share all this stuff with you, but stay tuned, because Ryan and I are going to be digging in hard into the home buying process and answer a lot of questions that home buyers have, especially with Gen Zers and millennials. We want to make sure we get all your questions answered before you start your search, and arm you with knowledge, because we know that's very valuable to you, whether you use us or not. If we can educate you and help you out, that's what we're here to do.
We will be letting you know where to find that information, because a lot of it's not really going to be probably on our podcast show specifically. Right. So our plan is to record a bunch of shorts and break things down into small little chunks that people can really, get a quick little grasp of it, and then reach out and call us.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I don't have anything else to share today, do you?
No. Thank you for joining again.
You know where to find us.
All at uncensored.com.
Yep. You guys have a great day. And
it's another great day.
It's another great day.